began like a dream. The glamorous actress who discovered her prince left her past behind and stepped into royalty as the entire world looked on. But now, that dream is transforming into something far more tangled. And the murmurs growing louder aren't coming from the palace staff. They're echoing from those who've observed Meghan Markle ascend every platform she's encountered. And this time, they're not whispering about crowns or gossip columns. They're discussing tactics, calculated moves, and possible departures. Because according to sources with significant insight, Meghan might be preparing for her most dramatic decision yet, parting ways with Prince Harry. Imagine, if Meghan walked away from Harry, her public image could shatter. She would be torn apart in the media, especially since she's already been cast into a controversial light online, especially by pop culture analysts. But it wouldn't be through a dramatic outburst or scandalous revelation. This would be the kind of subtle storm that brews privately while public smiles continue. Meghan, they say, is already envisioning life beyond the prince, beyond royal turmoil, potentially aligning with someone even more influential. And here's the twist. Some insiders believe this might have been part of her vision from the very beginning, not in a malicious or scheming way, but in the kind of way that only someone seasoned in elite circles would understand. Meghan has never been one to think small. From her early days hustling in the entertainment world to capturing the global stage by marrying into history's most renowned monarchy, she's handled every phase with the precision of a pro. And now, if the rumors hold true, she's ready to turn the page once more. You've probably noticed the evolution yourself. Meghan's current public persona is far greater than just being the Duke's spouse. She has podcast empires, content, deals, public speaking circuits, advocacy projects, all centered around her voice, her identity. This isn't about castles or customs anymore. It's about reach, influence, and autonomy. And Harry? He's beginning to appear like a man suspended between two realms, slowly being edged out of both. Certain royal insiders are even suggesting that what was once brushed off as mere speculation is now treated with seriousness. Meghan, they claim, has emotionally cut Harry off from the very people who once grounded him and turned their children into strategic assets. Archie and Lilibet aren't just sweet royal kids anymore. They're bargaining chips, emotional strongholds. And Meghan, according to some, fully grasps how much that empowers her. Let's reflect on Harry's sacrifices, his royal responsibilities, his titles, his protective services, his ancestral home, and most painfully, his bond with his father and brother. All relinquished for love. All to build a new reality in California with the woman he believed would bring him stability. But now, as Meghan's name surfaces in elite gatherings far removed from the crown, among leaders, moguls, influencers, the haunting question is, was he merely a rung on the ladder? Insiders say Harry has quietly tried to mend ties with his family, even floating invites for King Charles and William to the next Invictus Games. It may seem noble, even optimistic, but to others it reeks of a man clinging to his fading identity. Meghan, on the other hand, isn't saying much. She doesn't have to. Her silence says enough. When the moment arrives, if it does, it'll be orchestrated on her timetable, her story guiding the headlines. Because Meghan has never been about surviving the spotlight. She's mastered it. And now she may be plotting her next ascent, possibly without the prince. Those closest to Harry say he's changed. The once vibrant, quick-witted royal now appears hollowed, like someone constantly trying to convince himself it was all worth it. You sense it in his posture, his cautious interviews, the forced smiles. Some chalk it up to post-royal adjustment. Others fear it's a deeper ache, an understanding that the love he gave up everything for may be slipping away. He still loves her. That much is clear. But love isn't the only force at play now. Meghan's world is accelerating. She's rubbing shoulders with Hollywood elites, entering conversations where Harry is hardly mentioned. People speculate about her next big deals, film productions, charitable ventures, even potential political ambitions. And at the center of it all? Meghan. Not them. Just her. And then there are the children. Archie and Lilibet, innocent yet deeply symbolic. They're not only Harry's heart, they're his tether. Every step he takes must be calculated to avoid risking time with them. Meghan knows this too. Insiders claim she's already hinted at limiting royal interactions if certain boundaries are breached. Not as threats, at least not overtly, but as firm conditions. That's what makes this entire scenario so layered. No matter how hard the monarchy tries to pull Harry back in, Meghan holds the upper hand. She can leave and rebuild effortlessly. She's proven it. But if Harry exits the relationship, he risks far more. His family, his home, his fragile public footing. And that's a cost no father wants to pay. Even so, Harry's still trying, still making calls, still sending peace offerings. But sources say William has given up, seeing Harry as the one who wrecked everything. Charles, they say, is torn but hesitant to close the door. Within royal walls, it's quiet. But it's not peace, it's tension. The kind that comes before a fracture that can't be undone. The dialogue now isn't about a troubled marriage. It's about heritage, purpose, and the long-term effect of choosing passion over tradition. And what happens when that passion begins to wither? Harry's circle believes he sees what's happening, but feels powerless to change course. Each time he tries to reconnect with his past, it's like reaching through mist, present but distant. Meanwhile, Meghan is radiant, unfazed, always ahead. Every appearance seems deliberate, every post precisely timed. While the world debates, her intentions she keeps expanding. Expanding beyond monarchy, beyond matrimony, perhaps beyond herself. No one knows exactly when or how the final choice will unfold. But the energy has shifted, the warmth is gone. The former unity, even amid storms, has dissolved into calculation and distance. And as Harry clings to a crumbling past, Meghan may be sketching out a future where he no longer has a role. Inside the royal sphere, there's a reluctant consensus. Meghan prevailed, not just in public favor, but in command. She didn't follow the royal playbook. She tossed it aside and wrote her own. The outcome? A global identity more influential than the royals foresaw, and a prince whose relevance now hinges on her direction. Those within the palace confess they never truly understood her. Meghan didn't simply marry in. She studied the system, found its blind spots, and dismantled it with quiet precision. No need for screaming matches or dramatic scenes. She had interviews. She had subtle narratives. And the most powerful tool of all, a story that resonated. One where she was the outsider, the trailblazer, the woman who walked into centuries of protocol and confidently walked away. Harry hasn't vanished. He's still visible. But he's no longer leading. He's reacting. His name may be on the initiatives, but Meghan's vision sets the course. Their public image now feels more like a production than a partnership. And the more she ascends, the lonelier he appears. Those close to him say the pain is showing. Even in cheerful moments, there's a heaviness in his eyes. A longing for something steady amidst a life that constantly evolves. But the heart of it all, the real weight, lies with the children. Archie and Lilibet have become the emotional stakes, the innocent center of a high-risk strategy. Meghan, reportedly, has complete control over their visibility, their narratives, their moments. And Harry? He's scared. Scared of what separation could mean. Not just publicly, but personally. If Meghan asserts full legal dominance, the custody and emotional battles could become fierce. Lawyers on both sides are already preparing quietly. No headlines yet, but contingency plans are being drawn. Meghan's team, both in law and entertainment, are preparing for all outcomes. Harry, having distanced himself from UK security and support, would face this conflict on unfamiliar ground. The royal family won't directly engage. Publicly, they'll stay silent. But their concern is real. These children carry royal lineage, whether they grow up in LA or London, and Meghan knows how to wield that. The real question is, how far is she willing to take it? There's no clean resolution to this. If Meghan leaves, she departs with the upper hand. If Harry stays, he does so knowing the floor beneath him is cracking. And if the royal institution steps in, they risk being cast once again as cold and controlling. So they wait, watching, whispering, hoping this doesn't erupt into something irreparable. But for Meghan, the next chapter might already be drafted. Those closest to her say she's not emotional anymore. She's focused, composed, strategic. She's not fixated on gossip or approval. She's focused on permanence, influence, and control. And if that future doesn't include Harry, she's ready to close the book. The fairy tale has faded. Now, she's writing her legacy and ending his.